Part 1. The fall my girlfriend admitted she cheated. I needed a real man, she smirked. My friends took her side. I just smiled, took my keys and left. This morning my phone blew up with 32 missed calls. Looking back, I should have seen it coming. The signs were there, scattered like breadcrumbs through the last few months of our relationship. But when you've been with someone for 3 years, you tend to give them the benefit of the doubt. At least, that's what I kept telling myself. It started with small things. Allison began working late more often, which wasn't unusual during busy seasons. But then came the new perfume I didn't recognize, clothes I'd never seen before appearing in our closet, and her phone suddenly becoming this sacred object that was never more than an arm's length away. I'm not the jealous type, never have been, but something felt off. The way she'd pull away when I tried to hug her from behind while she was texting, how she'd step out to take calls claiming they were work-related. The constant girls' nights with people whose names I'd never heard. Last Tuesday I was folding laundry when her phone lit up on the coffee table. The message preview from someone named Jay popped up. Miss you already. Last night the rest was cut off, but my stomach dropped. I didn't want to be that guy who snoops through his girlfriend's phone, but the universe seemed to be screaming at me to wake up. When she got home that night, I decided to be direct. She was in the kitchen making herself a smoothie like nothing was wrong. The sound of the blender filled our apartment as I leaned against the doorframe watching her. "Who's Jay?" I asked when she finally turned it off. The change in her posture was instant. Her shoulders tensed, but then she did something I wasn't expecting. She smiled. Not her usual warm smile, but something cold and almost triumphant. "Wondered when you'd finally catch on, Michael," she said, taking a sip from her glass. "Jay's my boss. And yes, I've been sleeping with him for the past 2 months. The casual way she said it felt like a slap. No guilt, no shame, just pride. I needed a real man, she continued, smirking. Someone who knows what he wants and goes for it. Not someone who spends his weekends playing video games with Jacob and watching silly movies. I stood there processing her words. 3 years together, and this was how she really saw me. Through the shock I felt something else rising. Not anger, but a strange sense of clarity. "Does Chloe know?" I asked, thinking of our mutual friend who had introduced us. "Oh, she's known for weeks," Allison laughed. "Most of our friends know. They understand Jay can actually provide a future, not just dreams and excuses." That hit harder than the cheating admission. These were people we'd shared birthdays, holidays, and countless dinners with. They'd all been watching this happen, probably laughing behind my back. I pulled out my phone and opened my group chat with Jacob and Chloe. "Is this true? You all knew?" Jacob's response came quickly. "Bro, you're great, but Allison deserves someone more established. Don't take it personally," Chloe chimed in. "We didn't want to hurt you, but maybe this is the wake-up call you need." I looked up from my phone to find Allison watching me, that same smirk still playing on her lips. She was waiting for the explosion, the drama, the scene she could tell everyone about later. Poor immature Michael losing his cool. Instead, I smiled. The real, genuine smile that seemed to catch her off guard. Without a word, I walked to our bedroom, pulled out my go bag, always kept one packed for weekend trips, grabbed my laptop and my keys. When I passed through the kitchen again, Allison was staring, her smirk faltering slightly. "Where are you going?" she demanded. "Out," I replied simply. "And Allison, keep the apartment. I'm sure Jay can help with the rent." I heard her start to say something as I closed the door behind me, but I didn't stop to listen. My phone was already buzzing with messages, probably from our so-called friends trying to explain themselves. As I drove away, I turned my phone off and felt something I didn't expect. Relief. Sometimes losing everything shows you exactly what you never had in the first place. I had no idea where I was going, but for the first time in months, I felt like I was heading in the right direction. Update 1. Thanks for all the support on my last post. Never expected it to blow up like that. A lot has happened in the past week, and honestly, I'm still processing everything. I've been staying at this small motel on the outskirts of town. Not the most glamorous place, but it's clean, and the owner, an older guy named Pete, seems decent. He even knocked $20 off the weekly rate when he heard my story. I turned my phone back on after 2 days of silence. 32 missed calls, 47 text messages, most from Allison, some from Jacob and Chloe, and a few from numbers I didn't recognize. But what really caught my attention was the storm of notifications from social media. Allison had been busy, really busy. Her Instagram story painted a version of events I didn't even recognize. Apparently, I was a controlling, jealous boyfriend who monitored her every move. According to her posts, I emotionally manipulated her for years, isolated her from friends, and threw a violent tantrum when she finally stood up for herself. Each post had hundreds of sympathetic comments, including ones from people I thought were my friends. The crown jewel, a tearful video where she claimed I had financially abused her by making her split all our bills 50-50 while I hoarded money. Rich, considering she earned more than me and insisted on that arrangement herself. Then came the text from Gemma, a coworker I've known for years. "Hey, you might want to check your email. Something's going around the office about you." Sure enough, there was a company-wide email about creating a safe workplace environment, with a thinly veiled reference to recent concerning behavior from certain employees. No names mentioned, but the timing wasn't subtle. I should have been angry. Maybe I should have fought back, posted my side of the story. Instead, I just felt curious. How far would she take this? Pretty far, as it turns out. Yesterday, I stopped by our local coffee shop, the one place I figured would be safe since Allison hated their coffee. Wrong. The barista, who'd always been friendly, gave me this look like I was something stuck to her shoe. Later, I found out Allison had become a regular there, sharing her survival story with anyone who'd listen. But here's where it gets interesting. While picking up some clothes from storage, I ran into Juliana, Allison's supposed best friend. She looked nervous, glancing around like she was afraid of being seen talking to me. "You need to be careful," she whispered. "Jay isn't just her boss. His wife, she's connected. Like really connected. And Allison's been telling her you're unstable, dangerous even." "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. Juliana's eyes darted again. "Because this isn't the first time. Before you, there was another guy at work. Allison and Jay did the same thing to him. He ended up leaving town. That conversation changed everything. I spent the night digging, legal records, social media, anything I could find. Turns out the previous guy existed. Mark something, disappeared completely from social media around the time Allison started at the company. This morning I got a call from our landlord. Allison tried to remove my name from the lease, claiming I'd abandoned the property. When that didn't work, she told him I'd been threatening her. He called to warn me. Turned out his sister went through something similar years ago. But here's the real kicker. While all this was happening, I got a message request on Instagram from an account I didn't recognize. The profile picture was of a woman in her 40s, elegant, wearing expensive jewelry. The message was simple. "I believe we need to talk about my husband and your girlfriend. Coffee tomorrow." It was signed Mrs. J. Part 2, The Reckoning. The next morning, I walked into the coffee shop a few minutes early. It was quiet, still dimly lit, with only a couple of regulars scattered around. Mrs. J was already there, sitting by the window in a tailored navy blazer, her posture perfect. She looked like someone who belonged at a boardroom table, not surrounded by chipped mugs and mismatched chairs. She stood to shake my hand. "Michael, thank you for coming. You said we needed to talk," I replied, sitting across from her. She nodded and opened a small folder she had brought with her. Inside were photos, printed emails, even what looked like financial documents. "I've known about my husband's affairs for a while," she said calmly. "But what he did with Allison and how they tried to destroy you, that crossed a line." She slid over a printed screenshot. "Allison bragging in a group chat. Once he's out, Jay and I can finally move forward. The apartment will be mine. He'll be too humiliated to fight back." My jaw tightened. But I stayed silent. "You're not the first man they've done this to," she continued. "There have been others, and now I'm putting an end to it." She explained her plan. At the upcoming annual company party, she would present evidence publicly. She had enough dirt to force not only Jay's resignation but Allison's as well. All she needed was one last piece, someone who could be present, someone they tried to destroy. I didn't hesitate. "I'll be there." The company gala, the hotel ballroom, buzzed with chatter and clinking glasses. I walked in wearing the one suit I had that actually fit me. Heads turned. Some looked surprised. Others looked guilty. Allison was across the room in a deep red dress, laughing beside Jay. Her expression froze the second she saw me. Jay paled. I didn't say a word. I didn't have to. Mrs. J arrived 10 minutes later and took the mic during the employee appreciation segment. What followed was nothing short of poetic justice. She began calmly, thanking the team. Then she invited someone from HR up, and together they unveiled a video presentation, text messages, financial records, photos of Jay and Allison in the parking garage, emails plotting my removal from the apartment and fabricating harassment claims, gasps, murmurs, people backing away from Jay and Allison like they had a disease. But the highlight, Juliana stood and confessed in front of everyone. "I helped them do this," she said, voice trembling. "I was scared, but what we did to Michael and to others before him was wrong. I won't stay silent anymore." Allison tried to interject. Jay tried to take the mic. Security politely escorted them out. The aftermath: within 48 hours, both Jay and Allison were fired. Lawsuits followed, from multiple former employees. Mark, the guy who had vanished, resurfaced with his own evidence. He joined the legal action. Allison went online trying to do damage control. But this time no one was buying it. Juliana released screenshots of private messages where Allison admitted to manipulating friends, framing people, and bragging about it. Then came the moment I wasn't expecting. A text from Jacob. "I messed up. I should have had your back." I sent him a screenshot of his old message defending Allison, then blocked him. Chloe tried to spin her own redemption arc too, but the damage was done. When you pick the wrong side, there's a price. Peace. I signed a lease on a new apartment. Quiet, clean, and mine. My boss gave me a promotion after HR cleared everything. Apparently, even they had doubts but didn't know who to believe. Gemma and I kept in touch. Nothing romantic, just mutual respect, honesty, something I'd missed for a long time. And one evening, Pete, the motel owner, waved me over with a grin. "Heard about the company party. Sounds like you got the last word." I smiled. I didn't need to. They gave it to me themselves. Final thought: sometimes the best revenge is silence. Let people expose themselves. Let their lies unravel under the weight of their own ego. Allison wanted a man who could provide a future. I gave her one, just not the one she expected. As for me, I gained something better: my dignity, my freedom, and finally peace.